There we go. Boy, oh boy, the truth is something else, ain't it? The truth is something else. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Now, for those of you guys who are subscribed to my channel, you already know, you've heard me say it on many different occasions. You could try to hide the truth. You could lock the truth up, throw away the key. The truth will always break free. And all the ignorance that you see on the internet or you hear from some fans will always defy logic, will always defy the actual truth. According to Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, after the Chris Algieri fight, Manny Pacquiao will be permanently moving down to 140 pounds, the junior welterweight division. Here's what Freddie Roach had to say, quote, "I just think it's much better for Manny to fight at 140. He's much more productive at the weight. It's much more natural for him to fight at the weight. Manny has been forcing himself to fight at 147 because the truth is the Pac-Man is more comfortable at 140 pounds. End quote. Man, I have so much to say, I don't know where to start. But I'll start with this. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, they are virtually the exact same size. They rehydrate the exact same way. The night of the fight, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are both around 150 pounds. They both started their careers around the same weight. Okay? Now, if both Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are pretty much the exact same size, what would you say is the difference between the two? If I ask you guys right now, especially you Floyd Mayweather detractors and you Manny Pacquiao fans, if I ask you right now, who's the toughest out of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather? You're most likely going to say Manny Pacquiao, right? If I say who's the strongest, who has more power, you're going to say Manny Pacquiao, right? If I were to ask you right now, which one would you say is the chicken, the coward, has no heart, has no balls? We know in the world we live in, most of you guys would say Floyd Mayweather, right? So if I told you that one of these fighters was deciding to move down to 140 pounds, wouldn't you expect the coward, the chicken, the one who doesn't have the power, the one who isn't that strong, wouldn't you expect him to be moving down to 140? Logically, that is what you would think. Now understand something, guys. I'm not saying Manny Pacquiao is a coward, is a chicken, he's this and he's that. I just want you guys to understand how you sound and why you always end up putting your funky ass foot in your damn mouth when you speak with all emotions and no brains. Not only does this obviously make Manny Pacquiao look bad, but it almost makes trainer Freddie Roach look even worse. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people believe that Freddie Roach has controversially been voted Fighter of the Year on numerous occasions when he did not deserve to be. There were many other trainers that should have been voted Fighter of the Year. Okay? Now, I truly believe that Freddie Roach, who is a good trainer, he has the opportunity with Pacquiao right now to prove that he is a great trainer. But instead, Freddie Roach decides to take the easy way out. You put Manny Pacquiao in a fight with Tim Bradley in a rematch. Tim Bradley, who was supposed to have no power, catches Manny Pacquiao with a great overhand right and staggers Manny Pacquiao. In fact, according to trainer Joel Diaz, Manny Pacquiao told him that Tim Bradley, he kind of buzzed him a couple of times in that fight. Now, because of that fight, Freddie Roach decides to just avoid or try to avoid all danger, abandon ship, and jump to the 140-pound division. Forget working on trying to improve your fighter's defense. Forget trying to improve on his boxing ability, his intelligence. Forget all of that. Let's just go down to 140 so that way when Manny Pacquiao makes all his mistakes, hopefully he'll be able to stand up and take the shots. That is an ignorant way of thinking as far as I'm concerned. That was your opportunity to prove that you are a great trainer, Freddie Roach. Okay? When you get a car, you don't spend thousands of dollars just putting extra fucking safety equipment around the exterior of the car. You know, so just in case you run into some shit, you won't damage the car. No, you don't do that. You learn how to drive, right? You learn how to drive. So you won't be running into shit every damn week. All you need is a seatbelt, a car, and some damn common sense. That's all you need. If Manny Pacquiao ain't that good at driving, Freddie Roach, you need to teach his ass how to drive. Okay? Stop trying to take the easy way out. So, you know, I already understand some of these Manny Pacquiao fans, you're going to say some shit. You're going to accidentally say some shit that makes sense that will completely corroborate everything that I'm saying. You know, that's what they do eventually. You know, when you drop in knowledge like this, it's really hard to refute. So a lot of times they'll say some shit, not even realizing they're basically agreeing with me. They'll say some shit like, well, you have to understand the reason why Manny Pacquiao doesn't want to stay at that weight because he doesn't have the defense. He doesn't have the defense to deal with those power punchers in that division. That's my exact damn point. That's my exact damn point. So what Freddie Roach needs to do, he needs to teach him how to avoid those big ass power punches. Okay? I mean, I thought Manny Pacquiao was supposed to be on Floyd Mayweather's level. You can't sit here and say that Floyd Mayweather is ducking this guy and Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest and all of this, but then at the same time say he's not good enough to avoid power punches. That doesn't make any sense, guys. It doesn't make any sense. And for all you ignorant ass fans constantly saying, oh, Floyd Mayweather is terrified. Oh, he's so scared of Manny. Oh my God, he's having nightmares thinking about Manny Pacquiao. For you guys to say stuff like that, what do you think about this news? What do you think about Manny Pacquiao deciding to abort the mission, abandon ship, and go down to 140 pounds? What do you guys think about that? Huh? What do you think about that? What do you think about Freddie Roach telling the whole world that it was Manny Pacquiao's fault that the first fight didn't take place? Yeah, Manny Pacquiao's own trainer. The guy that you love so much. Freddie Roach is so loved that he can offend a fan's race. And those race of people will still say, he didn't mean that when he said that about my race. That's how much Freddie Roach is loved. So if you love Freddie Roach, so if you love Freddie Roach that much, and you believe everything he says, and I'm sure you believe him when he says it was Manny Pacquiao's fault we didn't take that first fight. I'm sure you believe Freddie Roach when he says Manny Pacquiao can't deal with these power punchers at 147 pounds. I'm sure you believe that, right? Because what other reason would he say it? Because what? Deep down, he hates Manny Pacquiao? Deep down, he's a flomo? He's gay? And all this other crazy shit that you guys like to post? Is that why Freddie Roach would say the same things that I've been saying when it comes to whose fault it is the first fight didn't take place? Keep in mind, the first negotiations were the most important negotiations. You know how they say first impressions of everything? The first negotiations were the most important negotiations for many different reasons. For one, it was 5 years ago. This was at a time when Manny Pacquiao was considered pound for pound 1 or 1A the best fighter in the world. And that happens to be the time that Floyd Mayweather is giving this man a 50-50 split down the line. Right? I'm not even going to go into all of that because that's too long of a conversation. You guys can watch previous videos. You already know where I would go with that. But anyway, so let's talk about Danny Garcia. So Freddie Roach, his plan is to move his fighter down to 140 permanently, and his number one target is Danny Swift Garcia. That's the fight that they want. Now, of course, Freddie Roach, he's doing his, promotion talk, saying, we want Danny Garcia, but they'll never take the fight. They're scared, and Al Heyman is scared, and this and that, and all this other kind of stuff. How ironic. You abandon your own division to come down to a smaller weight class, and you're already calling fighters at that division scared. Okay? Now, of course, it has a lot more to do with him trying to, insult Al Heyman as well by saying that Al Heyman, it's funny, man, when you hear professional trainers or professional boxers basically regurgitate everything that you will normally see posted on the internet. It just goes to show you how many people, how many decafs, people like Freddie Roach he runs into every day. Because you can imagine how many ignorant ass fans run up to him and say, yeah, Freddie, yeah, Manny Pacquiao's a coward. Yeah, that Tim Bradley, he never deserved a rematch. He had no power. All he did is run. That's how he broke his legs, and so on and so forth, right? You know that these guys, they run into these type of characters every single day. And you could tell by just listening to what Freddie Roach says. Freddie Roach is saying Al Heyman, he's not good for boxing. That's the kind of shit that you would see people post on the internet. One of them perfect ass double standards. Oh, Al Heyman is not good for boxing, but let me guess, Bob Arum is perfect for boxing, right? Coincidentally, Freddie Roach, he admitted when I interviewed him, the reason why the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight is not happening, because Bob Arum won't allow it to happen. Bob Arum wants that to be Manny Pacquiao's last fight. Oh, but Al Heyman is bad for boxing, right? Al Heyman is bad for boxing. So forget about the fact that we may never get to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao because Manny Pacquiao could possibly lose in his next couple of fights before we even get to a Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight. And another thing about Al Heyman. If you guys follow boxing the way I do, which I'm sure most of you guys do, have you guys noticed that when fighters sign with Al Heyman, they get put in some of the toughest fights, like almost off the bat? I mean, think about it. When Keith Thurman signed with Al Heyman, the first opponent they were going to put him in the ring with was Marcos Maidana. But Maidana turned the fight down. Soon as Miguel Vasquez signed with Al Heyman, they put him up against Mickey Bay. I mean, we done seen this a million times. Adrian Broner fighting against Marcos Maidana. I mean, I could just name a whole bunch of fights, but these are just the ones that's coming to mind right now. But you gotta love them double standards, huh? Boy, you gotta love them. Bob Arum admits to keeping Julio Cesar Chavez away from Sergio Martinez because he knew that Sergio Martinez would beat Chavez. Bob Arum pays off officials to make one of his fighters the #1 contender. Oh yeah, but Al Heyman is fucking up the sport. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Especially in this ignorant ass sport that we call boxing. Now, and I was about to end this video, but before I end this video, I do want to say that no matter what division Manny Pacquiao fights at, there are going to be exciting fights, okay? But the problem that Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao are going to have, and what they don't fail to understand, is it doesn't matter if you move Manny Pacquiao down to a smaller weight division. The problem is not just the power. The problem is also skill and technique and fighters that are in their prime. Okay? When Manny Pacquiao was at 147, he was fighting a lot of guys that came off of devastating, not just knockouts, but devastating knockouts. Miguel Cotto, Antonio Margarito, they came off of devastating knockouts. Ricky Hatton got knocked out for the very first time in his career. Okay? Manny Pacquiao was not fighting against prime, undefeated, or prime champions. He was never really in those type of fights. When he moves down to 140, he's going to be fighting against young, hungry lions. Or at least that's the assumption. I'm assuming that Manny Pacquiao is going to have to fight some of the best fighters, in the division. Like Danny Garcia. Can you imagine Manny Pacquiao in a ring with Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, Terrence Crawford? Which, by the way, I noticed Freddie Roach, he didn't mention his name. I mean, he didn't mention a lot of names. But I'm assuming Freddie Roach is not going to want. I mean, I know if I was Freddie Roach, I wouldn't want Manny Pacquiao to fight Terrence Crawford. I know what you guys are thinking. Dante, you are crazy as all get out. That damn Terrence Crawford ain't got a shot in hell against the great Manny Pacquiao. I know that's what you're thinking. But once again, this is all I'm saying. We all know that Manny Pacquiao has problems with boxers. We know he has problems with boxers. We know that a great jab will pretty much negate and nullify almost anything that a fighter does if it is a great, intelligent, perfectly timed jab. That's the type of jab that Terrence Crawford has. That's the type of jab that Chris Algieri has. So all I'm saying to Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao is running away from your problems is not the solution. Because your problems are inside. The problems are inside of Manny Pacquiao. The problems are not inside the division. Now, of course, yeah, there may be bigger and stronger guys at that division. But I can guarantee you right now, if Manny Pacquiao fights the type of fighters that I mentioned, we're going to see the same type of problems that he had at 147. Let's see what happens in the future. I'm on to the next one.